Greetings LEGO fans. Isn't it a beautiful day up here at Terra Prima in Harrington, Quebec? I still have some LEGO with me in the form of these two Corvettes from the Speed Champions line, one being a classic 1968 version, the other one being a modern racer, both of them, as I'd expect from Speed Champion cars, to be great toy cars and absolutely loaded with stickers, but we won't know that for sure until we open the box. So let's get that underway, get these cars built, so we can start getting a closer look at these two sports cars. There's a few things I've come to expect from the Speed Champions line. First off, obviously, we're building some pretty cool and stylish toy cars to minifigure scale. These cars are meant to be played with, can take a little bit of punishment, and the stickers will test your patience, both in the sheer volume of stickers for such small builds, and the time it takes to line up multiple stickers across multiple pieces, or it just won't look right. And these two Corvettes are no exception, where we get the C8R race car, and the classic 1968 version. Starting with the race car, this one's built on an 8-stud wide frame and is looking pretty badass with this great paint job, yellow trim, red highlights, low profile hood, low suspension, and a huge spoiler in the back. Getting a closer look, right in the front left hand corner, the first thing we find is Rab Jake's skull logo, which is located just beneath the main headlights and just to the right of what I think is the fog lights, not quite sure. Between the fog lights, we have a large air intake to cool this massive engine, and continuing up the hood, we have the Corvette logo, the beginning of the yellow race stripe, which travels over the top of the body, and is also branded Mobile 1, located right next to race sticker number 4. As we rotate around to the right side, in the front right hand corner, we've got another one of those skull logos, and then, along the running board, C8R, the model of this car, is clearly displayed, race number 4, it's prominent on the door, there's a tiny little Michelin sticker, and I think it's worth mentioning that I find the surface detailing in the door to be very satisfying, not only in the stickers that they chose, but also in the pieces they selected that fit around each other, making for a nice 3D surface. Coming around to the back of the car, we've got the large dual exhausts, a pair of very aggressive looking taillights, race number 4 right in the center, and clearly written, racing, right in the center of it all. Finally, on the driver's side, we see much of the same as what we saw on the passenger side, with the same C8R sticker, racing sticker number 4, little Michelin sticker, and that cool 3D textured surface. So now, let's on up to the top view, where we can see right in the back, the large spoiler, written Sirius XM on it, A little forward of that, there's a small window giving us a view into the interior where we can see the engine, and a large, wide yellow racing stripe that goes nearly from bumper to bumper, having the Corvette symbol, Chevy symbol, and Mobil 1 down in front, as we saw earlier. Removing the roof to give us a better look at the interior, we can see that there's seating for two in here, not too much to see on the passenger side. Driver's side has just a steering wheel, and the way the car is shaped, the driver's got to drive single-handed because there's no room for his left arm to reach the wheel. And now to our classic 1968 Corvette, which is also built on an 8-stud wide frame, comes in a beautiful dark maroon with gray trim paint job, and has that classic muscle car look with some pretty fierce looking taillights and an extra long hood to house that large motor. As usual, starting all the way in the front, the first thing we see in the center of the hood is a little Corvette logo, and one might notice that there are no headlights, because on this car, the headlights actually popped up, something that would have been nice to have, but in this scale, pretty hard to achieve. Beneath that, there's a large grille where we see another pair of lights. This would probably be the fog lights, and license plate right between them. Swinging around to the passenger side, we see that the wheels have a nice spoke pattern, which looks quite attractive. Right between them, all the way in the bottom, we have 4 stickers lined up, which I gotta admit was a bit of a pain to apply, but doesn't look too bad. And just above that, behind the front wheel, a little sticker that says Stingray, a branding that only exists in a small number of years in the Corvette lineup. And around the back, we've got those 4 big, bold taillights, very classic for a muscle car, a pair of twin exhausts, and right in the center, it's plainly written Corvette, and just beneath that, the license plate. And now we come around to the driver's side, which is essentially the same as the passenger side. Some nice spoked wheels, little Stingray sticker, and those 4 stickers that are fun to line up along the bottom. Coming around top side and removing the roof reveals the interior, which again has seating for 2. And this time, on the driver's side, in addition to having a steering wheel, there's also a little shifting knob and what looks like a handbrake. And while it seems like there is room for the driver to lift up the left hand on this side, unfortunately that is not the case, because if you do, you will not be able to reaffix the windshield, so this is also a right-hand driving only experience. And now to the minifigs, where we have 2 at this set, 1 for each car. First up, we have the woman with her long hair, wearing an open jacket, Corvette symbol on the back, and with the jacket open, exposing a shirt beneath that again has the Corvette symbol. And then we have this guy, who's wearing a full racing outfit, racing pants, racing jacket, yellow arms, Corvette symbol front and back once again, and look on his face, he's not very happy. I guess he didn't win his race. With the cars and minifigs now covered, I'm pleased to say that this kit doesn't come with any accessories. While that statement might be confusing to some people, if you've seen my other Speed Champions reviews, you probably know that I was never a big fan of the accessories that came with these kits. They're usually kind of useless, I found them to be just a way of padding the part count and raising the price, so I'm glad they're not here. But what we do get is exactly what was expected, the typical norm for a Speed Champions set. We have a pair of really great toy cars. Both of them feel really great in my hand, easy to grip, can take a little bit of punishment as you bash them around without really having much in the way of pieces coming off, and they both look quite stylish. Both on their own, not so bad, together, looking pretty good, and if you've got other Speed Champions, they line up really nicely next to each other, making for a really attractive collection. And, as I stated in previous reviews, a collection that's really quite inexpensive to assemble. So, pretty good bang for the buck on that one. And of course, if you're building a Lego city, these cars would be a welcome addition to pretty much any of the streets, the garages, or pretty much any setup you want to do. So there's a lot of potential here just beyond the play and initial display of the kits. As to the parts, there's nothing all that remarkable in here, but there are a few pieces that are worth mentioning. First, on the sports car, that cockpit glass, it's not unique to this kit, but it looks quite stylish. And each of them have the same 6-stud wide car base, which, if you want to build a car of your own, would be a pretty good place to start. Finally, for my closing thoughts, I find this kit has a pretty wide range of appeal. For the junior Lego fans out there, I'm sure they would love to have some toy cars to play with, in addition to starting and or growing their collection. For the AFOLs out there, I find the appeal is pretty much the same, maybe a little bit more display than play, setting up Lego City or having a whole collection of them, but any which way, I'm sure it's going to be quite enjoyed, quite appreciated, and for whoever is looking at this set, I'm sure you will not be disappointed.